We've got an 11 race card at Riccarton Park on Saturday. Jason Tan, Matt Cross here to take you through it. Let's start away with the first, the Daffodil Race Day Maiden, to be run over 1,200 metres. Cadrona, $3.30. Publicist, $3.30. About where you saw it, Jason?
Yes, pretty much exactly where I saw it. Cadrona's going to be very hard to beat. Has the apprentice allowance, again, beneficial. Wouldn't underestimate Publicist. Obviously, you've gone Publicist. I went Cadrona to win, but it is toss of a coin, as those odds suggest.
Yeah, OK, he's a 3-year-old son of Reduced Choice. Had a few trials under his belt, and Tiakau, first up, Riccarton Park, must respect. Over to race number 2, the New Zealand Cup meetings tickets on sale now, made in over 1,200 metres. Viva La Burgundy $7.50 with Clara, Miss Scandinavia at $6, but $1.95 Sacred Courts. Is that good shopping?
Oh, look, it's a little bit of a spec in fairness, because you're taking it on what you've seen at the trials and reputation. He could come out and win like a $1.40 shot, or he could be a horse on debut that gets lost and end up running like a $5 shot. But I'm happy to back him to win because I think he's better than maiden grade. That said, there are a couple of place options if you don't want to go quite as short as the 1.95. OK,
Sacred Courts, if he's on a 2,000 guineas path, and you would imagine he would be wanting to win at Riccarton on Saturday. Over to the third Group 1 race day event over 2,000 metres, Smiling Assassin $2.60, fair enough?
Yeah, knocking on the door, Smiling Assassin, 2,000 metres or back to the 2,000 metres very much suits, as does the 3 kilos that Corey Campbell brings. He's riding super Corey, as is Jasmine Fawcett, but yeah, Corey would be the inform apprentice, probably anywhere in the country. OK, back on a better track as well for Smiling Assassin. Hard to see him not finishing in the top 3 in the third. Canterbury Westland Racing Owners Association 2,000 metres is race number 4, and here's a look at the market for it. Flying Agent $5.50, $5.80 Hattrick Boys and Doe Kiwi, Metasequoia at the same price. Pretty even race here, Jason. You're not a race I was massively confident about. Aidan Roddy like Hattrick Boys on the first call this morning. You can watch a replay of that on the site. Okiwi, there, Metasequoia, they're all similarly priced and there's not much between them. I thought the Flying Agent was an each-way bet. OK, pickup was good enough over the staying trips through his last campaign. A couple of nice horses lining up for Kevin James on Saturday, the other being Pick Me Up in Rio at 14, so we spec on him for win and place. Over to the 5th on the card. This is the Crake Irish Bar on Riccarton Road Maiden over 1,600. Jeepers George made it a bank bet, Jason. I feel as though it's ready to win a maiden. $5.80 is a fair enough sort of price. But we get down to Love You, a horse that I know that you were keen enough on. Well drawn, has the apprentice allowance again. Very, very solid form. You'd want to see it punch through and win. Gets another opportunity to do that. So another big field where you can go each way on any runner. OK, you've got Santa Stark in there as well, closely related to John Snow. To Love You for Jason, and Jeepers George for myself to run. Great naming, eh?
It is, isn't it? Race number 6, well, over we go. Nice race, this one. The Janet Francis 1,600 with Sacred Delight, $2.20. Jumps out of barrier number 10, Bridget Grill's Tony Pike. Could be a theme of things through the day.
A little bit surprised that Sacred Delight came up that short. However, very strong form. Bully Boy's been racing well, no knock on it. So Bully Boy's the horse I've gone, and on price, having seen how the market's been framed, I'd be happier to take the price on him than necessarily Sacred Delight. Not decrying the fact that it's a leading chance, however. Yeah,
$2.60. I think I made a $50 bank bet on that. So to win Sacred Delight in race number 6. Over to the 7th, Christchurch Casino New Zealand Cup trial over 1,800 metres. Who Dares Wins gets back onto a better track, and that is a big favour for me. I thought he would have come up as the favourite here, but Blue Lagoon, $2.90. A lot of discrepancy in the weight, though.
Yeah, 6 kilograms, obviously significant. I didn't have anything really between Who Dares Wins, Alfie and Blue Lagoon. So for that reason, I went with Who Dares Wins, but there really isn't much between the three. I would be genuinely surprised if the winner came outside of them. Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting to see the tactics with Who Dares Wins under the weight onto a better track.
There's absolutely no pace in the race as
well. He's got enough speed to punch forward, and you'll notice on the heavy and slow tracks that they didn't really use him early and he was shooting home. So, yeah, that's going to be the interesting factor as to what they do.
It's a very tricky race on paper, that one.
It certainly is. Race 8 is the Strategy Creative Open Handicap, 1,200. Gee, this is a good race. Sensei, $1.60, $1.05. Tina Komanyagi claims 2 kilos down to 52. He looks as though he's a horse that should enjoy fresh conditions.
So Mighty Solomon has come out of this market, and that's obviously meant that Sensei's $1.60 was longer than that earlier on in the weekend. Rangipo has come into 135 to finish in the top 3. Sensei, by all accounts, according to Matthew Pittman, is fit as well, will be ready to run a very good race. So I'm not going to back against him. Maybe a Quinella, looking at the prices now without Mighty Solomon with Rangipo.
Yeah, good enough to line up in a Telegraph as a 3-year-old was sensei for Michael and Matthew Pittman, and Team Kina Komanyagi, she knows how to steer a horse around Riccarton Park. Race number 9 will kick off the late treble on Saturday. New Zealand Bloodstock Canterbury Bell Stakes over 1,200 metres. We heard from Thad Taylor on the show, Jason. He gave us a lead into Emily Margaret out of barrier number 1, so some nice info there, but $3 Wicked Force.
Wicked Force, the horse that I've got, even though it's drawn wide, should be able to work across, and quite how the track will play by race number 9, where the best part of it will be to navigate in the straight. Bridget Grills will have to make those decisions. A lot of respect around Emily Margaret, though. That run over 1,000 fresh was very, very good, and the enthusiasm and confidence that Kevin Hughes gave after the event and what he said about the esteem that he holds the horse in was very positive.
Yeah, I'll go Quattro Katie, but as you mentioned, Emily Margaret, with the decent push that we got from Thad Taylor
I'll spit it out, sorry. Yes. We'll get there, but yeah, Quattro Katie, good each way for you?
Yeah, I think so. The $10 by Zoo Star, looking for improvement. I wouldn't go too hard on it, though. Race number 10, second to last, is the Pride's Easy Feed over 1,200 metres, Remington 650. Conclusion at $6.20, but there was, the horse that I was pretty keen on here was Parvina, $4.50 and 185 again, Grills and Pike.
And down the dog leg, I suppose you would say, $4.50. Look, there's a little bit of depth to this race. Hot Fuss possibly might be better suited if there was a bit more rain, but that's kind of, yeah. It's got good speed though, so it'll be hard to run down. Pavina, I was happy to go. It's maybe just an each way quite. Maybe it's better just to go win at that.
Race number 10 might be a couple of ales deep. Parvina might be able to get you out if you've had a rough day on the punt. Race number 10, number 13.
Lemonades.
Yeah. Race number 11, Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge over 1,400 metres. This is Wide Awake 450, Director 450. Resplendent Glory returns from Hong Kong, Jason, at $11, but the trial of Director pretty good.
Yeah, the most recent trials they lined up against each other, I thought Director had Resplendent Glory well and truly covered. Resplendent Glory, I'm not 100% sure of the reason why it left Hong Kong. I assume it's left with an injury, was retired from there after showing promise, winning 2 in a row in Class 4 company. So obviously had ability. I hadn't seen enough in the trial necessarily to say that it could beat Director. So I went with Director, and just an each way price, and maybe you just want to go win by that stage.
All right, a run by a little unwritten rule called Back Hong Kong horses first up in New Zealand. Katea, He Can Fly, just to name a few. We could be here all afternoon, couldn't we? And Resplendent Glory, a little spec on that. You should get a decent sight fresh up. To you at home, all the best with your bets over the 11 race card at Riccarton Park on Saturday.